Hi, in this project we'll be learning how to interface an 8x8 LED matrix with an Arduino. We'll learn how to blink a single LED on the matrix, and we'll also learn how to make various shapes, designs, etc. on the 8x8 LED matrix. So as you can see, we have 8 pins at the bottom, 8 pins on the top. We have a total of 16 pins on this 8x8 LED matrix. So to know what these pins represent, let's dig a little bit deeper inside. So this is how the LED matrix looks from the inside. The rows, there are 8 rows and there are 8 columns. Okay, now let's say we want to glow a single LED out of this matrix. Let's say at row 2 and column 2 right here. So here, considering the diode positioning and the complete circuit formation, we need to keep our rows at a positive voltage and our columns at a negative voltage. Using our Arduino, we are going to connect the columns to the ground and the rows to the 5 volts pin. So in order to connect the second row, second column LED, we will have to connect our second row pin to the 5 volts and connect the second column pin to the ground. The 16 pins here represent the rows and columns of our 8x8 LED matrix, and the problem here is that it is not in a specific order. If your matrix comes with a manual, you can simply take a look at it and figure out your row and column configurations for each pin. If not, there is a method to do it using an Arduino. Since we got to figure out our row and column configuration, this is the method I've used. First, I went ahead and marked all my pin numbers. I have marked the top of my 8x8, and that's what the M stands for. Now choose 2 pins. I have chosen pin number 1 and pin number 16. I have connected my pin 1 to 5 volts and pin 16 to 3.3 volts. This is the output I got. Since there are no LEDs glowing, we can conclude that both of them are either rows or both of them are columns. I will now repeat this procedure, except for this time pin 1 is going to get 5 volts and pin 15 is going to get 3.3 volts. Now when I did that, I got a glow in row 6 and column 5. Repeating this process once again with pin 1 getting 5 volts and pin 14 getting 3.3 volts. This is the output I get. As you can see, there is an LED glowing at R6 and C3 position. Since R6 and pin 1 are common here, I'm going to go ahead and mark pin 1 as R6, and logically pin 15 and pin 14 should be C5 and C3 respectively. Similarly, keeping R6, that is pin 1, as my reference, I'm going to connect each of the other pins to 3.3 volts to figure out the column positions. I have marked the same in the diagram right here. When that's done, I have taken one of the columns as our reference, connected it to the 3.3 volts pin of the Arduino, and connected the remaining pins to 5 volts and figured out their row positions. This is the trial and error method I have used to figure out which pin refers to which row or which column. So once we have figured out which pin belongs to which row or which column, it becomes pretty much easy to connect everything else to the Arduino. Since this circuit diagram seems a little complicated, let me go ahead and show you which pins to connect to which row. So we connect row 1 to pin 2, row 2 to pin 3, and so on till row 8 of the matrix is connected to the digital pin 9 of the Arduino. Now similarly, we are going to connect the column 1 to pin number 10, column 2 to pin number 11, and so on. Now since we have ran out of digital pins, we are going to connect the rest of the columns to pin number A0, A1, A2, A3. Now this is a very simple code to switch on one particular LED in the matrix. Now we know that our row 2 is connected to pin 3 of the Arduino, so we are going to initialize that as an integer. And since we cannot use A1 as an integer, we are going to set the variable C6 to the pin number A1 using #define, and under the setup we are going to set R2 and C6 as the output pins, and we are going to initially set both of them high. Now when both of them are high, the circuit is not complete and hence there will be no output. We need R2 to be high and C6 to be low in order to get an output in the required LED. So under loop, we are going to go ahead and set the C6 to low. That's when our LED is going to glow. We're going to delay that by 1 second and then set it to high when the LED will not glow, and delay that by 1 second. Now after we verify and upload the code, this is going to be our output. As you can see in row 2 and column 6, the LED is glowing at an interval of 1 second. Now let's say we want to display a specific pattern or a specific letter or something of that sort. This is the code we are going to be using. First, we are going to define all our variables as row 1 to row 8, column 1 to column 8, and assign them to their pins. Right there. Once we're done with that, we are going to create an array which is going to consist of byte values, and initially we are putting in our previously set variables from row 1 through row 8. After this, we are going to create an array for our required character, which is going to consist of byte values. Here I want to display the letter A, so I'm going to create the byte values for the letter A. Let's see how we do this. So since we're going to display the character A on the matrix, let's go ahead and mark the LEDs that we need to glow for this letter. So we need on the first row these 2 to glow, on the second row these 4 to be glowing, on the third row we need those 4 to be glowing, and so on to create the letter A. So this is how we're going to mark it. All the LEDs which are not glowing, we're going to mark that as 0, and all the LEDs that are glowing we're going to mark as 1. So this is how our first rows by definition is going to go. We have 000, 11 and 000. We are going to do the same with the rest of the rows, and that's how we are going to come up with the byte values for each of the row, and we are going to add it in the array that we've created for A, and we are putting the B over there to indicate that those are byte values. And I've gone ahead and created the values for letter B as well. Now we are creating a new function called setColumns, and here we are going to take each row's byte values and separate them for each of the columns, and we are going to perform bit operations on them in such a way that the column values are set opposite to the row values. We are doing this because the glowing LEDs, which are set to be 1, have to be grounded through the columns and thus have to be the opposite. That means it has to be set to 0. So first we're using the bitwise NOT operator. So let's say we're taking this particular first value and entering it into the function. The NOT operator is going to reverse the 1s and 0s. Next we're using the right shift operator, and it is going to shift this value to the right. So when we are saying right shift by 7, the 7 at the back are removed and we have a 0, and the NOT changes it into 1. Now we're going to AND function that with 1, and that is going to give us a value of 1, which is the opposite of the particular bit. So we are going to do something similar with the rest of the columns in such a way that we have the opposite of what has been entered, and each column gets a bit. Next we're going to create another function called the drawScreen function. Here we can enter an array, for example A or B, which is in the byte format, into the function. Now we are going to start a for loop, and we are initializing a byte I equal to 0 and I less than 8, as we have 8 rows. Now we are going to call the setColumn function. Let's say I equal to 0. We are going to take the 0th position of the array. For example, if it's A, we are going to take this particular value, and we are going to set all of them into columns as I have explained before. Now I'm going to set the 0th position of the rows array to high. Here we have row 1 in the 0th position, so we're going to set that to high, and we are then going to delay it by 2 milliseconds right there, and then we are going to set it back to low. Now since this is a for loop, this is going to keep continuing till the I value becomes 7. Thus this keeps continuing for each and every row value. Now under the setup part, we are going to set all the pins from 2 to 13 as the output pins, and we're also going to add A0, A1, A2, A3 as our output pins. Now under the loop, we are simply going to call the drawScreen function, and we're going to print the letter B. So as you can see, we have got the letter B as our output. Now if we increase our delay, we can see the multiplexing effect happening behind the scenes. This is what actually happens, but we are unable to see it due to the very low delay that we set. That's it for today's project. All the codes are available in the description below. Thank you.